Where's our teacher?
I'm here. How's it going, guys? You guys can all come off mute if you want for right now. How's everybody doing so far?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. As much as you can. Are you getting use of the boxing equipment it looks like you have there, Stu? I think you're on mute.
Muted, Stu.
I wish I had the time. But it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, it looks great. Well, I hope you guys are all doing well. We're just gonna do some just basic kind of stretching, just kind of get the body moving a little bit. Nothing too over the top. Don't need any equipment today, which is gonna be nice. Unless the only one that I would say is if everybody has like a broomstick or something like that. If you don't, we can avoid that one. But if you have like a broomstick, hockey stick, some type of light pull, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, let me know really quick. Sweet, sweet. Carm, do you have a broomstick of some sort?
Yes, I'm just gonna go get it.
Okay, awesome. Perfect. Sweet. Okay, looks like everybody has one. Okay, yeah, so we're just going to go through kind of basic stretching. I'll kind of work the upper body a little bit just with kind of pass-throughs and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll kind of go from there. Move-wise, gym is slowly coming together. Thank you all that helped on the weekend. We do appreciate that. I've been going in and out of the old place and the new place. They're currently doing painting and all that kind of stuff. Rig's supposed to get put in this weekend. And it's going to be a completely different space from the last one. Picture going from a dark gray room into a bright white room now. Okay, so it's going to be completely different in that sense. So we look forward to it though. We'll keep you guys updated with where we're at. Should be all good by hopefully end of next week, end of week after, and then we'll kind of go from there, obviously depending on what the government allows us to do, right? So let's get started today. Grab your broomstick. We'll start standing here. I'm just going to kind of move my laptop around. Give me a second. So we'll start with just our broomstick, and we'll just start with basic pass-throughs here. If you don't have broomstick, this is for people that I'm recording this as well for other people, but if you don't have a broomstick, you can just go for arm circles to start here. Really think about reaching the pole away from you the entire way. I'm going to look for about 20 here. Awesome. Once you're at about 20 or so, you can go ahead, place that off to the side, just getting those shoulders warmed up. And then we're going to come to the ground here. We're going to go into what we call a sleeper stretch. Don't fall asleep. But what's going to happen is my elbow is going to be perpendicular to my body. Okay, so right angle from my body. My hand is flat. My thumb is pointing out. And then the object here is I'm going to take my top hand. My top hand is going to come down on my hand and come inwards. Okay, now what I'm looking to do is get my thumb towards my belly button. Okay, so pulling that hand inwards here. Okay, so we'll come down on our sides. Good. From here, take our hand. Top hand comes down. Pushing down on that hand, going to where we can. Getting that internal rotation here. Good. We're going to release that. Good. We're going to go back into it in a second here. Next one, so I'm going to push down onto it, okay? And then from here, I'm going to hold for about 10 seconds. Then I'm going to actively press up into this hand. Okay, so I'm going to push this hand up into this hand. And then I'm going to let go of that hand and then actively let my other hand do the work here, okay? So here we go, hands on top, pushing down. Good. Then I'm going to start pushing up into the top hand. Actively pushing up here. Good. Then I'm going to release the top hand and actively bringing my other hand down on its own. Awesome. Relax. And we'll go for one more of just the pushing down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, pushing down. And release. Good. We'll go ahead and switch sides. So again, elbow is perpendicular to the body, nice right angle. Thumb is pointing out, hand is flat, upper hand comes down on top, pushing down. And release. Good. Second one here, we're doing that hand pushes down, then I'm going to push up into the hand, and then actively pushing back down. Okay, so here we go. Upper hand presses down. Good. Pushing up into the hand now. And release the top hand, actively pressing the hand down. Awesome. Good. Next one we're going to do here, guys, we're going to come onto our stomachs. We're going to come out into a T shape here with our hands. And you guys have probably done this one before at the gym. This is the scorpions. Okay, so we're going to actively rotate, touching our leg to where we can, back and forth here. Okay, just keep going. I'll tell you when here. You get some movement and a little bit of stretch of the shoulder and a little bit of twist out of the spine. Good. From here, you're going to place your hands on the ground, coming into a tabletop. Okay, so from the tabletop, we're going to actually widen our hands here. Okay, so hands are going to be a little bit wider. You can have your hands and your fingers kind of pointing out. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to stretch to one side, stretching this arm. And then we're going to go to the other side, stretching the other arm. We're going to go back and forth here. About a 5-second stretch on each arm here, back and forth. Awesome. From here, we're going to come back into our tabletop. Hands are going to be under our shoulders. We're going into our cat and cows. Okay, so we'll go on my call here. So we have our cow position, which is our stomach dropping down towards the floor, looking up. And then we have our cat position, rounding that upper back, sucking that belly button in. Okay, so we'll start with a cow here, dropping the stomach, looking up. Good, into cat. To cow. Into cat. Cow. Cat. Cow. Cat. Cow. And last cat. Okay, from here, we're going to take our left hand. Left hand is going to thread through, getting a rotation of the spine. With the hand that is flat on the ground, I want to actively press the ground away as I reach far forward. So we're getting a twist of the spine, a stretch out of our posterior delt on our left hand, and a press motion out of our right arm. Good, go ahead and switch sides. Left hand is placed, right arm threads through, rotating through the spine, stretch out of the right posterior, actively pressing the ground with our left hand. Good, back to the tabletop position. We're going to take our left hand. Left hand's going to go behind the head. We're going to rotate inwards, like so. And then opening up. Trying to rotate that elbow and spine. And back down. And back up. Back down. And back up. Good. Go ahead and switch arms here. Right arm comes behind the head, rotating down. Rotating up. Back down. Back up. Back down. And back up. Good. From here, you're going to place those hands onto the ground. We're going to sit into a child's pose. So dropping your hips through your legs, reaching far in front of you, thinking about driving your chest towards the ground. Then we're going to walk our hands out towards the right. So hands are walking towards the right, leaning our butt towards the left slightly. You should feel a little bit of a stretch through the left lat. Good. Walking our hands back to the other side here. Towards the left, leaning our butt towards the right. Nice big stretch out of our right lat. Good. From here, we're walking our hands back to center. We're back in our tabletop position here. We're going to turn our hands backwards. Okay, so our fingertips are going to be pointing towards our knees. Just getting a stretch out of the wrists here. The goal here is to try to keep the fingers as flat as possible. Okay, so you don't want to have this kind of like rounded grip, this bear claw grip. You want to actually keep your hands and fingers as flat, pressing them towards the ground as we lean our shoulders back, sitting our hips back. Just stretching out the wrists. Good, you're going to come forward and release for a second. And then back into that stretch again. Come back forward again. And back into that stretch. Good. From here, we're going to lie onto the ground onto our backs. From on our back, we're going to have our legs out flat in front of us. We're going to take our right knee, okay, so right knee here is going to come across our body as our as our right arm also stays out towards the side. Okay, so you're just kind of holding that right knee, getting a rotation out of the lower back this time. Good. Go ahead, bring that leg back to center. Left leg comes up, grab that knee, knee rotates over. Good. Switching legs again. Right knee comes up, grabbing onto that right knee, rotating over. Good. Last one. Left leg comes over. Awesome. From here, we're gonna have our our knees in the air, feet are planted. We're gonna take our right knee, or right leg, right ankle is gonna sit onto the leg. Then we're gonna thread our hands through, grabbing that left leg here. Getting a light stretch out of our right glute. Good. Go ahead and release. Dropping the feet down to the ground. Left ankle comes on top of right knee. Threading our hands through, pulling that right leg towards us to get a stretch out of the left glute. Good, and relax. Next one, probably the most awkward of the movements, is our happy baby. Okay, so legs are going to come up. You're going to grab the inside of your feet with your hands, letting your knees sink towards the sides of your body. Opening up our adductors, rounding up the lower back. This is a great one also to do before squatting. Awesome. Go ahead and relax out of that one. You're going to come on up onto your butt. We're going to have our feet spread as wide as we can get them. For me, it's basically like 90 degrees, not too wide, but where we can get them. From here, we're going to walk our hands, okay? So we're going to walk our hands out. If that's just sitting where you are, that is okay, okay? So otherwise, if you can kind of walk your hands forward a little bit, kind of go there, getting a stretch out of your adductors and your hamstrings. If you want a little bit more, you can come down to your elbows as well. Good. Slowly, slowly walk your hands back in, undoing every last vertebrae to the top. Good. From here, we're going to take our right leg. Right leg's going to come in into a figure four. From here, we're going to reach our left hand towards our left foot. Our right arm's going to come over our body. Good. Slowly undoing, coming back to center. Good. Switching legs here. Right leg is out in front, left leg is folded in, right hand reaches towards right foot as left hand reaches over top of the body. Good. Slowly undoing that one. Bringing our feet to center for a double forward fold. Reaching forward. You have a slight round in your back here as you reach forward. Good. Slowly releasing, undoing each last vertebrae. Good. From here, we're going to bring our feet in towards center. Okay, bringing them nice and close where you can. Goal is to try and get the knees down here. Okay, from here we're going to sit nice and tall. Okay, so we're not rounding at the back for this one, so sitting nice and tall. We're going to hinge forward, just leaning forward here. You should feel a slight stretch through the adductors and kind of groin area as you drive your knees down towards the ground. Good. Slowly unhinging. From here, we're going to slide our feet out in front, and you have two options for this one. So option A is just to hold the feet round the back forward. Option B is to bring your hands underneath your legs, grabbing those feet, rounding at the back, and coming forward. Good. Ever so slowly, you're going to undo every last vertebrae all the way to the top of the neck. Good. From here, we're going to go into our lower body a little bit more. So we're going to go into a down dog here. Okay, so pressing your hands firmly into the ground, toes are tucked under, driving your heels towards the ground. Okay, notice that my heels are not touching here. I'm getting a nice little stretch out of my calves. actively pressing through my shoulders as I drop my chest towards the ground. From here, if you want to do some ankle pumps, go ahead. Good. We're going to step our right foot to the outside of both hands, left knee dropping down towards the ground. Okay, so we're in a very wide lunge from here. Okay, from here, we can either stay in this position, thinking about dropping our hips down to the ground, or we can come down to our elbows if you're comfortable here. And then we can even peel this front foot. Front foot can kind of round and peel over as the knee kind of comes to the side slightly. Okay, we're going to come back to our hands. From our hands, foot is firmly pressed into the ground. We're going to take our right hand. Right hand is going to rotate up, looking up towards the sky. And back down. Good. We're going to bring this lunge. We're going to push our hips back, straightening that front leg. You can kind of place your hands where you need to for balance. Dropping this hip, you're going to kind of have to move your hip around to kind of find that stretch spot where you get that nice stretch between behind your hamstring and your back of your knee. So might be slightly different angle for some people here. Good, guys. From here, we're going to bring that knee or that foot back down to the ground. We're going to come into a 90-degree lunge. Okay, so 90-degree lunge, meaning my back leg here is perpendicular to the ground. Okay, so from here, we're going to take the pelvis, we're going to squeeze the butt, or rotate that pelvis underneath. Okay, so really rotating it forward, and then driving the hips slightly forward. Even an inch, you should feel that through the hip flexor of the left leg. Okay, it doesn't take much, you don't need to exaggerate this stretch. From here, you take your front foot's going to walk across, coming into a pigeon, sliding that left leg back. If you can stay at your hands, you can come down to your elbows, or you can lie down on the ground. If you find that stretch kind of easy, feel free to bring your chest over your foot a little bit more to get a little bit more of a stretch. Then from here, hands are back on the ground, sliding that right foot back, tucking the toes back underneath into a down dog. Again, pressing through the hands, driving your chest towards the ground, driving your heels towards the ground. You can get some ankle pumps again here. Good. Your left foot is going to step forward to the outside of both hands, dropping that right knee down to the ground. Again, you have an option here. You can stay on your hands, or you can come down to your elbows if you'd like. You can even peel that left foot slightly to the side, letting that knee drop to the side slightly. Come into your hands, taking your left hand's going to rotate up, looking up towards the ceiling. Good, and back down. Pushing those hips back, straightening out the front left leg, getting a stretch out of the hamstring, back the knee. Again, you might need to move your hips wherever you kind of need to place them to feel that stretch a little bit more. I also find pointing your toes up is going to activate the stretch just a little bit more. Don't strain them because you may get a calf cramp. Good. Coming into our 90-degree lunge. Again, back leg is perpendicular towards the ground. We're going to take our hips, we're going to squeeze our butt, rotate the hip underneath, drive the hips slightly forward, getting a stretch out of our right hip flexor. Slowly release that, walking our left foot across our body into a pigeon, driving that right foot back, sinking into that stretch. Again, you have your options from your hands to your elbows to lying down. If you'd like a little bit more, driving your chest over the foot. Good. You're going to slowly release that stretch. From here, we're going to sit onto our feet. Now, if this stretch is too much, actually, you know what we'll do? Instead of sitting on both feet, we'll have our left leg out in front to start. Okay, right leg will stay back. And then from here, we're going to lean back. If this is step one, this is step one. If you want to go to step two, you can come down onto your elbows. Or step three, if you want, you can come lie right down onto the ground. So just go to wherever step you feel a nice big stretch out of that quad muscle there. Good. You're going to slowly get your way back up. Let's switch legs here. Right leg comes back in front, kind of let the blood flow back into that leg a little bit. Left foot's going to come back. Again, you have your different stages. Stage 1 from your hands, stage 2 on your elbows, or stage 3 lying onto the ground. Good, guys. We're going to undo that leg. We're just going to lie onto our backs here. We're going to end off our session with a nice rebound. So just letting the muscles relax here. You have your palms facing up. You can let your legs relax, flop to the sides naturally. I want you to feel as though you're sinking into the ground. Relaxing everything from your ankles, your toes, your legs, your hips, hands, arms, and shoulders and back. Head is sinking into the ground, releasing all the tension in your face, your cheeks, your jaw, your eyes. Just relax. While you're lying here, I want you to think of 3 things that you're thankful for that has happened in the past couple weeks. Ever so slowly, you're going to bring the twinkle back in your toes, fingers, slowly to your wrists and your ankles. To your arms and legs. When you're ready, you can slowly find your way back up. And we'll call our session there for today. If you guys want to come off mute, feel free to come on off. Nice little midday stretch for you guys. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Hopefully relieve a little tension in the body, if there is any. Awesome work today, friends. I don't know when the next one will be. I'm not totally sure yet because my schedule is kind of all over the place right now with different things. But I will post them onto the members group. Feel free to invite friends to this one. So we decided for the virtual mobility stuff, you do not need to be a member for this. We'll gladly accept anybody in this kind of stuff. So if you have friends that want to come join in, let them know. Obviously, I'll let you guys know when the next one will be on the member group, and then we'll kind of go from there, okay?
Awesome.
Awesome, guys. You guys have yourselves a rest of your wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you guys all again.
Thanks, Jordan.
Guys,
Thanks,
have a good
Gordon. That was awesome.
See you guys.